Good morning to day 229. 7:15. Overcast today, breezy, nice. But I'm just gonna turn up a little bit early, go through the place, do a quick recce, as they call it. Still got lots to do, guys, lots to do. Before I ramble on, please like and subscribe to the channel. Please comment below. As we said below, if you're new to the channel, this is our painful journey on building a house in the Caribbean, trying to learn and build relationships and understand process, and trying to dilute a little bit what's normally expected in the building trade where we're from. At the same time, trying to build our dream home. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, please like and comment and share and do what you got to do. Everyone on the channel can benefit from whatever's discussed, good or bad. So anyway, today, what we've got to do today, need to try and get this stillage taken away. And there's a company I've been talking to that I said they can have it. They're more than happy to do it. They're a glass supplier. Bloody weighs a ton. So I need to speak to them about today about trying to come and getting that gone. That releases a bit of space. Got a lot of crap here which we need to get rid of. So we've got a pile on the beach that is starting to accrue again. What we do here is we work with a trucking company, a company that hires excavators and bobcats, and they've got lorries. So what we do is we get a lorry here, the excavator fills it up, or the bobcat fills it up, and then they take it away, and it normally costs between 100 and 140 Bajan, depending on what it is and how big. So we want to try and start accruing that. There's lots of wood here which I need to discuss with our team here about what we need to keep. Whatever we need to keep needs to go in, and whatever we need to get rid of, we've already sold, so we just need to get that individual to come pick it up. Morning, Adam, if you're listening. I'm sorry for the delay with the bill, by the way. I will send it over to you. Today we've obviously got a few things to do. So, number one, we've got to try and we got mail delivered yesterday in the end, so we've got to get the driveway done. So I'll show you that in a second. We've got to get that rolled, and then we're going to try. I don't know. It depends how many people we're going to get in the weekend. But we're going to try and get that blinded. Blinding is a very thin concrete. They normally put it down before they put steel, membrane and pure concrete. So if you're going to have a concrete drive or a concrete roof, they normally do like a blinding first, and then which normally gives it a stability, which is normally put on top of the marl. Then you put a DPN down, then you put the steel down, then they box it and pour the concrete. So it will give us also a platform to park on. So this is the ugly driveway. Try and point to it. This is the driveway at the moment. So these pipes here we had put in yesterday. They're the pipes that are going to feed from the other side over here. That's where the air conditioning and the gas is going to go, so we just need to have something to feed through all the pipes into the basement. So they're all in, they're all under sand, and then we're going to literally get them moulded in today and try and get that rolled. That means we'll also be able to potentially put something on top of that mile-wise and roll it and potentially blind it and have something a bit more decent to park on. We can also grade that as well, so we've got to be careful not to fill it too much, otherwise we won't get to the blocks. And the blocks is what we need to obviously build the garage at some stage, which we'll probably do a bit later on. The guys are also going to be plastering here today, so they've got to plaster all around here, all around that side, and then down the side return. Obviously they did the side of the building yesterday, and they also finished this off. This is what happens when they don't finish. You get two completely different finishes, look. So it just looks cack. So if that was all done in one, that would have looked all right. But anyway, now we're going to have to decide what we do with it. Could have got away with just leaving it grey. That doesn't look perfect, obviously. But I think they're on about doing trial plastic over it, a white trial plastic, so I might just get them to do the front for now. Then we can do the sides at a later date. Electricians have been playing around in the pump room yesterday. They put light and power in there, and they're putting their panel in there. That's ready for the pump man to install his thing and come and do this. Obviously, this at the moment is stagnant, literally. The main reason why is because trial plastic is what they use to go on a swimming pool. As soon as the trial plastic goes on, it has to be underwater within 24 hours maximum. So they can't trial plastic it, i.e. plaster it, until you're ready to have it full of water. And you can't have it full of water until all of the crap and dust and whatever stops. And also the pump room is in and installed and tested. So that is on the back burner at this present time. But Anthony, our man, is in the wings waiting. The doors are all in, they all lock, which is great. Today we've got to do the pocket over here. So we did the side return plasterboard yesterday, so that's ready. That can now be slid into place and fixed. Electricians can now go do all their electrics above straight down into the partition, and then we can get it boarded up like this side. So this side now looks like, so we have a pocket now with doors in it, and we have a plasterboard wall. So the light's now in it, power's in it. That's what it looks like. So it comes out, it juts out a little bit. I mean, it's not very straight, saying that. Not the greatest, straightest job in the world. That was dead straight, so I'm not too sure why that's not been made straight. To talk to Andy about that. But anyway, so that one will go on as well. Today, still more sanding and plastering needs to be done. This hasn't been dot and dab, that needs to be done. This hasn't been dot and dab, that needs to be done. There was meant to be a bit going on here, and that needs to be finished off, and that needs to be painted in here. So again, the doorway needs to be sorted. That needs to be, I think that's having another coat, that has to be sanded, and that's got to be painted. Again, around here has been dot and dab now, which is great, so that's all gone off. That needs to be sanded down, and potentially filled again. Here you can see bead, so he's probably going to have to, yeah, the sand, that's all got to be sanded around here. Again, that's not straight up there for some reason, that's very bowed. So I have to have a look at that. That's all nice and straight though, that looks okay. Mind you, that one comes out as well for some reason. Might be the plaster, the concrete doing it. Obviously we had a big beam poured up there. Again, we talked about putting a little bead on here just to bring this piece out, and then just boarding straight across here, and this will be, again, it'll be a door frame. So that needs to be sorted all the way around. So does all of this. In here, needs another coat, obviously. You can see the black, and all this has got to be sanded down all around the outside. So I'm sure that's something that's going to be concentrated today. Again, I'd have done that corner as well, so that's gone off. But that's not been done, so he's going to have to do that again today. That's got to be sanded down and filled. That's got to be sanded down and filled. And then we've got to do the actual linear trap in this bathroom today as well. So that's going to be my aim, is doing the linear trap. The plumber obviously fitted all these in testes yesterday, but we did have some leaks, so he's got to come out and redo those. But we do have running water and flushable toilets. I do need to test the manholes outside, just to ensure they're working, obviously. What else yesterday? So in here, obviously we did all the actual air conditioning holes, which I told you about yesterday. In here, there's still some sanding down that's got to be done on certain things. Up in this corner here, for instance, that's now been filled. Some of the window frames have been filled, but the tops haven't, so they need to be done. Again, this one's not been done at all. It's a little bit on there, but again, that one on both sides has got to be done. The kitchen's also been focused on today as well, so the guys are coming out and absolutely cleaning the kitchen today, so that will be good to see. This is how, so far, you're the first one to see it, so am I. This is how our shower tray is landed up stoppings, which is good. So I've got a polisher, and all different grits. You go 200, 400, 800, 1000, 2000, 3000. And the more you go down, the smoother it will be. So I didn't want it smooth, I wanted something that's got a little bit of grip to it. And then I'll put a sealer on top of it. So as you can see, we've got like a nice little run around the outsides. So the water runs down that way to the trap, and then this here is where you're gonna stand, and the water should run down as well. And then we've built this up slightly with a little lip on the side here, and a little lip on the side here for the water to run down. So that's my attempt with my mason to do our own shower floor. And then we'll have a screen that will literally come right up against the tile here. It'll come all the way down. It's got a little trap that will sit on the floor, and it'll come all the way along this way, and then it will silicone up together. And then the tilers need to come out and finish their tiles, obviously, so that's one thing we are waiting for. But I wouldn't mind giving this a polish today, just to give it a go. I only want to polish around here, polish around here, polish around here, and polish this piece here. I don't want it too polished, because obviously I don't want it to be slippery. That's got to be sanded down and painted. And I need to get a worktop sort of lid for that as well. So other than that, that is pretty much done. Here, there is 2 pipes that need to be drilled through for the towel rail, which will go on this wall here. So 2 pipes got to be drilled. That's got to be polished. That's got to be sanded and painted. U-bender's got to be just tightened up because that had a little leak on it as well. But other than that, hanging the mirror and connecting the electrics and finishing the tiles in here, and this bathroom is done. There's the towel rails, by the way. In Barbados, I don't really use towel rails, by the way. Not too sure why. Obviously, it's nice and warm, but at the same time, towels need to dry. And if they don't, obviously, they start smelling very quickly. So it's just nice to have a towel rail to try and get the towels drying quicker rather than making them go stagnant. So these ones were filled, but obviously first fill. So they need to be sanded down. Again, they've got to be really careful not to hit the doors. I'm very nervous about that. Bear in mind, look at the state of the doors themselves. Look, just stuff everywhere. In England, we would literally tape those up. Tape them up and paper them up, so we just don't get anything on them at all, but instead they're just absolutely caked. So more work unfortunately being created that we could do without. In here needs to be sanded down. All of this needs to be sanded down. Again, you can see yellow paper, which means it's probably got to have another coat as well. So again, painful, but that's got to have more coat. It's got to be sanded, and the whole hallway's got to be done as well. So I would get the filling done around here first and then come and muller this in one. This has been sanded down on the walls, but the top part hasn't been done, and neither is the ceiling. So I'm not too sure why that hasn't been done. This has to be obviously boarded in properly today, so I need to get some wood behind there and get plasterboard put and then get that skimmed. Again, this has been sanded, but there's no... I suppose we don't need to have corner beads on here because also we're going to have an architrave and a door frame, so that's okay. In here's been sanded, but again, the ceiling hasn't. Probably this one because there's no light in it, whereas that one does have lights. So I'm not too sure why that one hasn't been done. Again, this needs to be sanded down on the corner. Still looks like it's going off as well. That was done yesterday. So all of this wall here has to have an extra coat put on it by the looks of it all the way around, as does all of this. I think that was, oh yeah, no, that's got to be done as well all the way along. Okay, so that's got to be done. This has all got to be beaded in, so that's not been done. That's been beaded there, but the rest of it hasn't been finished. Both sides need to be done there. The whole hallway looks to me like it's actually got the coat needed on there. So it just needs a damn good sand down. We need to speak to the electrician about getting some power in here. I see lights there, but for some reason last night when I was working in here, none of the lights worked. So I'm not too sure why. Yeah, and obviously we've got to get this done in here as well. So that needs to be boarded up there. This is all done, but it's not been... I suppose we can probably get away with actually doing it in here and probably do some form of external ceiling on it. Bear in mind the ceiling is still down as well, so I'll have to have a think about what to do in here. But other than that, I'm going to get some more locks put on this door today, so that comes up becoming safer and more secure. These door frames have obviously been beaded in, but they've got to be filled. Externally, today, as far as where the plumber did his turning of bends and everything yesterday, so this needs to be filled in and done because they're going to be plastering all around here. I'm probably going to get that roof sorted today. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. The roof itself forms part of the garage, but we're not going to do the garage yet. So I need to think about what roof to put on there because it does leak. So I need to get some form of concrete roof put on there that's thin enough to be absorbed by the concrete roof, but thin enough also to be on its own standalone. So we need to get that done, and all this needs to go up. So we might need to take this formwork down because that was going to form the first part of the formwork for the garage roof. I mean, I want the garage roof done. So as you can see here, we brought this up a little bit more yesterday with some marl that we had over there. All of this needs to be done right through. So we need to get this pipe sorted out, which is to go over to a sink that eventually will be here. So this all needs to be marled and rolled all the way around. And then once we've done that, then we can potentially get the bobcat in here to put more mud in here to bring some of this up to the height. As you can see, the manhole there, that pretty much is where we need to be across. And we need just the general crap, you know, wood everywhere, old bits of pipe, buckets. Just need to get everything cleared because it just looks like a bomb site. As you can see, take off and just dump, don't take off and get rid. That's unfortunately the mentality here. So we need to get obviously just a general tidy up, you know, it's housekeeping I think they call it, you know. We should always start clean and finish clean, but here it just doesn't really happen like that. The driveway wasn't the only thing done yesterday. We also just played around a little bit with the pathway. So the pathway was dug up and a bit of marl was put into here. So we're going to get that sort of rolled, flattened a bit today and get that done as well. It just helps it be a bit more stable to walk on. Mud is, especially when it gets wet, it's awful here. It's like a clay. I'll say here, this part of the island. The real dark mud is like a clay. And when it gets wet, Jesus, it just does not come off. And you've only got to touch it and that's it. It sticks and then it sticks to itself. So you land up having feet that weigh about 2 kilos. So yeah, so we've got to get these steps sorted out, but I've just had a phone call from my mason saying he might not be able to come in. So we've got the base one done, fascia, base, fascia, base, fascia, base, fascia. So we've now got to get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces done there, and then we're done on the steps. Some guys have said about staining it, some guys have said about painting it. Keep on with the comments about what you think I should do. Be interesting to see what you think I should do, that's for sure. Again, more crap everywhere, look, it's just... yeah, give me some ideas about what you think I should do with the steps. I don't want to tile them, but I don't really want them looking just grey concrete. So Someone suggested a concrete stain. That could be an idea if there is a concrete stain. And if there is, do they do it in Barbados? Just because they do it in the UK or in America, trust me, it does not mean they do it here. So there's a lot of stuff that you can get around the world that we take for granted you physically just cannot get here. Probably 60-70% of the things on the island are imported. So you're heavily reliant on somebody or something bringing something in, which unfortunately that isn't the case all the time. There's actually a company called Koymans that's like the Home Depot or the B&Q that's just started here. They just started about 18 months ago. It's quite expensive, but it is a big superstore and it does loads of things. But it is quite expensive compared to most of the other places. But the variety is good, and it's a very, very similar take on, say, B&Q and Home Depot. A lot of the stuff they've got in there is imported from America. So you do get some good stuff. So if anybody does get stuck for ideas or stuck for certain things, that's the place to go, I think. On the other supplier front, you've got Carter's. They do a lot of woodwork, lights and material, and they deliver. You've got Marshall Trading, same thing, woodwork, plasterboard, you name it. I tend to use Carter's, Marshall Trading, and Koymans for the general. And then if there's things like scheduled piping or thick piping, Wolseley's, I think they're called. I think they're in England as well. They're good on the island as well. They do a lot of the scheduled piping and the waste stuff. And other than that, really, it's you have to shop around, and I just haven't had time. So sometimes it's just a case of who has got it in and who can get it here. The other thing that's taken place today is we've got the company that's doing the industrial cleaning coming in to start the floors today. So the machine has been delivered, as you can see. She's sitting over there. Let's have a quick look what she looks like. So this machine just takes off a lot of the grime. So we're not going for the sanding. We're not sanding the floor. We're not grinding the floor with diamond. We're just literally giving it a good abrasive. I think they might need more than one of those. But yeah, so they're going to have to come around and scrape off a lot of these sort of things with the hand scrapers, which again, it shouldn't be on the floor anyway. There should be sheets down. All of it should be in caught. And we should just today to be giving it a polish. But instead, we're now going to have to scrape all this crap off, wet it, and scrape it, and then get down to the last parts, and then give it a clean with this thing. So this should take off the residue that's been left. Things like concrete that's been dropped on here, things like that may not come off. So we'll give it a scrape and see what happens. And then I think the next stage is once we're in and we're able to breathe, and I think I might get a company out with sort of a diamond cut machine and just give it a little bit of a once over, because the concrete company didn't do a very, very good job at doing the polishing anyway. So you've got a pipe that lands up in the middle of the floor. It's got to be filled. So once that's dug out and filled, it will leave a mark. So again, we're going to have to polish over that to try and lose it. Swell marks from the original pour. Concrete drops from obviously when we had the roof done. Yeah, more swell marks. It's not a great floor. But again, once this place is clean and empty and white and full of some nice furniture, we may get away with a nice industrial floor. But our intention is to get the furniture out, get it polished, and then get a sealant pot on it. That's the main aim. And we've got a company on the island we've been talking to about potentially doing that. But originally, it's just about trying to get this whole place cleared and emptied by Monday. I want this absolutely emptied of all this crap everywhere. I want it swept out. I want it hosed down. I want the insides completely cleaned. I want the guys to actually finish what they're meant to be doing so we can actually stop the dust and stop the paint. And then once we've had the clean, we're then in a situation where we're able to sort of at least try and live in the house and focus more on the external elements and the driveway and the landscaping and stuff like that. So we've still got some work to do, that's for sure, for Monday. The kitchen guys are coming today to install the countertops, sink, drill any holes that are necessary for the hob and for the tap. They'll be coming here potentially to install the rear cupboards. I think I've said about going and making those, so they're probably going to make them. Hopefully they'll be making them today. And we've managed to find, we lost the hinges. So they found one bag of hinges, but yesterday we managed to find the rest. So fingers crossed we can get all the hinges put on and all the doors mounted. So today we should have the start of an operational kitchen, hopefully. A lot of the appliances, we've got appliances to go in here. We've got plants to go on here. We've got plants to go over there. So we've got a few appliances to install as well. But again, once it's in, I need it covered up because we still haven't finished the bloody sanding. So again, all this is going to do is add loads more dust and everything everywhere. So I need to try and prioritise getting this done today. And the guys not installing that yesterday before they went really has put more of a delay on it. So they need to get that done first thing today, so we can get it boarded up and get it sanded filled, sanded and painted. So more dust to come. Other than that, obviously the ladies that are going to be coming in to do the cleaning, they're not responsible really to get all of this stuff off the doors. As you can see, there's a lot of it. So, you know, the guy that's actually done this needs to ideally get his cleaners to do it, but they're going to be starting the cleaning tomorrow. So I need to work out obviously when we're going to make a start on that. We're hoping to ideally be in here Monday straight Tuesday. So I know everyone's laughing out there, but if you don't have goals, you can't achieve. So fingers crossed we can get that done. My main goal today is to start getting that shower tray sorted out in there like we've done with the other one. I hope my mason can come, but he's actually just called in saying he's got car trouble. So fingers crossed he can come and he can do it. But I think you'll find it's going to be a job that I'm going to end up doing, which I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. So be therapeutic, I think they call it. But anyway, other than that, have yourself a great day, and I'll check in a little bit later on when everyone starts arriving. Okay, so we're 11:20, quick update. Did a bit of a breeze, a couple of clouds, but nothing major, which is awesome. My solar man just turned out. He put my inline pump into the system, which means we now got hot water circling around the whole system, rather than it being waiting for cold water to disappear and hot water come through. It gives you instant hot water. It also takes hot water from the tank upstairs on the roof straight down to a boiler in the basement, which means we've got hot water being topped up all the time and circulated all the time. Also at the same time, we've had this man here, he's obviously putting the mile in we had delivered yesterday, so the driveway's now coming up a little bit more higher, which is good obviously, because it means that rather than the water running in, it should hopefully run out. I also want the guys to try and look at doing something with regards to the curbing here, because at the moment obviously there's no such thing as a gutter here, so obviously the water comes down the road and lands up in the driveway here, so we need to try and blind some form of gutter of some sort. So obviously the gutter pretty much ends here, so we've got to redo that bit there, get all that mud out, redo that, but then continue it with this little step all the way along and join it to the actual the curb here, because otherwise at the moment, as you can see, it just turns into sludge. The water comes down, just sits here, and not a lot of it runs past. We need to get that sorted. This obviously is going to be taken up to a certain height. The height has been put in. As far as I'm aware, oh, there it is. There's one big spike in the middle of the floor there, and there's another one over there. So they're trying to make sure the pipe work goes in the floor. The plumber hasn't actually got that sorted, so we need to make sure he does. That's obviously going to be for the sink, but he's not plumbed that in, so we're going to need to... I don't think that's plumbed in at the other end, by the way. I think I just propped it in there the other day. So, yeah. Yeah, it should be buried, but again, we need to get George out so we can find out exactly what he's meant to be doing with it. That's something that he needs to deal with. So we've got to be careful we don't land up filling it in and land it up not knowing what the hell we're doing with it. We'll give him a quick call in a second, all right? Obviously, this has been raised up as well. The pipe work's underneath here, and we're going to try and do the same here. And these boys are obviously plastering the walls, plastered above. Tyson's standing around. Always get him. Look at that, Andrew. You can even see my reflection in it. It's that good. Nice bit of plastering on there. So, and they're going to take that right around the corner and take it all the way down here as well. Look, need to make sure we get that corner sorted out. That's what Anthony's doing now, probably. And they're going to take that right up as well. They're going to do all around there, so that will also be finished. I might actually get them to do that little ledge as well, the ledge here, and get that angled as well to make sure the water runs away, because at the moment it sits there, so we need to get that sorted. Yeah, and obviously that's where a big window is going to go in. This will be the bathroom window, so something we're looking to do. Okay, let's go upstairs and have a quick check up what's going on inside. Steps need to be finished off, obviously. Door frame's got to be put in downstairs. So the kitchen boys are here, installing. Beautiful. Framework's being put in here. John and his boys are here doing the doors. Andrew's here sanding around, making loads of mess. That's what it does when you sand down, unfortunately. Electricians are now putting all the electrics into the partition wall that's been put up, which is great. Rock is in the bathroom doing the second shower floor. I'll show you where he is. Orange helping out putting these in. Brilliant, fair play, boys.
Yeah.
Saves me doing it. Second one's being done. Linear's in. Beautiful. Got to get George to look at the sinks because they're leaking a little bit, as I said earlier. Not been here yet. Lots more filling, sanding and painting's got to take place in here. So we've also got the guys polishing the floors. I say polishing the floors, industrially cleaning the floors. trying to get all the muck off. The downside to that is we haven't finished in the bedrooms yet, which means they're cleaning, but then they might have to re-clean again. Excellent. Industrial scrub, well needed. Tiling going on in here. Beautiful job coming on. You can see it. In here, this is all going to be moved out in a minute. Most of this is kitchen stuff, so that can go into the kitchen. Then obviously we're going to start polishing this floor as well. This room's boarded up, but it'll be unboarded in a minute because they're going to want to get in there, and they're going to also do in here afterwards. So Andrea and his team are here putting in stuff. These are the 300 units they're putting on the back, which is awesome. More sanding going on here, more filling going to take place. Very, very dusty, obviously, because of the sanding. That's what happens when you do it. Always got to be done as well. It's taken a little bit of a backseat. We've got all these sanders here, so I assume that's where they're going to be coming next. Again, we've got to get all that turned around as well. Ideally, I need to go and buy a door and get a proper door put on there, really. So I might go and get a door and door frame to go in there. Get that done as well at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are so far. Still more to do. 11:30. 2 days to go. 4:30. 4:30 and the day is absolutely flown by today. Started getting some board on there. It needed to be done. The boys are in there trying to clean. Polishing floors to speak, so I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Board is up. This still needs doing. Kitchen is looking awesome. Kitchen's going up quick. Tiling is pretty much done, if not probably done already. Yeah, he's done. Dan's just got the grouting to do. So this is really good. So I'll start here and show you here. So the base has been done. It's dried a nice colour. The tiles at the bottom are all in, ready to be grouted. Top tiles are in. He's just got to do the returns. He's already got the returns, but for some reason he's not put them in. So that's definitely the perfect height. And we've gone for a 6'5" smoked screen as well. So that should look quite good. That's got to be sanded down and painted. So probably about 2-3 hours work in here to get that finished off in there, and then mirror connector and hung. This floor in here was cleaned today. As you can see, it looks a lot different being cleaned. So it might need a couple of cleans, but as you can see, it's dried nicely. Just need to obviously get all the windows now sanded down all over the new floors that I've cleaned. I'm sure that's going to work. A bit of air coming through because at the end of the day, these guys are now starting to look at putting a dishwasher in and stuff like that in the kitchen, not messing around. In here, it's not been filled. It's had a coat of paint. Again, personally, I'd get it all filled first and get it sanded. Here's had a coat of paint as well, but it's not actually been sanded down, I don't think. So I'm not too sure it's going to go on there. Anyway, that's got to be boarded in. So put a batten on there and then obviously put a bit of plasterboard across the top. And the guys are flying with the kitchen. Corian worktops in. Looking lovely. Look at the size of the friggin' monster. Massive. Absolutely massive. Sinks in, looking great. So yeah, and then we've got 300 wall units, but doubles all along the back as well for storage, which is nice. Going to finish off boarding this in a minute as well, get that all up, but we do have an issue with the beam here, sticking out a little bit proud. We've had paint down here, first coat, loads of yellow in the corners, I'm not too sure what's got in there. This has been sanded down and had the first coat as well. Again, all this needs to be filled and sanded as well. And then today we've had the driveway marled as well, so as you can see it's now right up to height. So it's pretty much as high as it needs to go now. It needs to be rolled, wet and rolled. And then we need to start looking at getting the wall built all the way along here and along here. All the plastering has been done as well, but they didn't get these filled in for some reason. I asked them to get those filled so we can just get it all done now. That's going to be patchwork. Same here as well, that needs to be filled. That's going to be patchwork. And they've not done the returns either, so we need to look at that as well. Yeah, other than that, still plenty to be done, obviously. looking good. Let's take you over to the other room where they've been working. I'll show you what they're doing back here, because what they're doing at the moment is cleaning the floor and then rock. I think it's shot off right now, I would have thought. But he's actually finishing off the shower room floor. It's taking a while to go off. So have a quick look, he's still in there. How's it going, Rock?
Yeah.
Looks good. That's better. Drilled the holes today for the towel rail. That's in here. So we'll get that hung tomorrow and get the pipework put through for that. We're going to get some long screws that go into the wall. So we need to find something that's going to be long enough to go through the actual brackets themselves. They come with some brackets. I have to make sure that the heads go through the brackets and are long enough to go into the wall itself to hold it on the wall. But it's quite light anyway, so that's all right. Again, same thing in here. This has got to be sanded. Tomorrow the guys are going to come in and do the tiles around the top, tiles around the bottom. Then it'll be shower screen, sand and paint, mirrors done. Makes it sound easy, doesn't it? Certainly not easy, that's for sure. Anyway, that's pretty much where we are on that. Everything's had a coat of paint, but as you can see, the stripes everywhere, so there needs to be a lot more paint put on the ceilings. In this side anyway. That side's not too bad, you can still see through, but I'm probably going to have to get a painter in to also go over it at some stage later on. As you can see there, look. So yeah, here's obviously got more coats to go on here, but the ceiling's meant to be done. In certain lights you can start to see obviously the screw holes as well, we've got to get filled. And obviously we've got to sand down all the actual outside frames as well. So anyway, this is plumb. You see the walls, look. Look at the south from me, it's saying this should have really been plasterboard in plumb as well, really. But anyway, that's the way things are. This has had a coat of paint. This has been sanded down and painted today. But obviously, again, like everything else needs more coat. Again, could have just sanded that down and painted that at the same time. That's what I would have done. Just get that done. This needs also plasterboard on the outside. Anyway, lots to do and snagging this as long as your arm. But at least I'm making some headway. Here's a room that's actually been done, for instance. So this is empty and this has been polished. You know, it's not perfect, but I think where it's concerned, they've done a great job cleaning it. And I think it's doable to keep it like that. If we can just try and get the walls washed and get some skirting board on, should be good. So anyway, that's a hope. I'll update you a little bit later on if things change. Obviously, we've still got another couple of hours to go yet. But at the moment, that's pretty much it for today. So see you tomorrow. 7:15. I'll just show you a quick update. Massively different just with a clean floor. So this floor has now been just an industrial Velcro on it, really. So still needs to be sanded down and painted properly, and all the windows and doors need to be cleaned, but it's looking a lot better in here now. Just need to try and get everything sanded and painted, as I keep saying. Once that's done, we can get the doors tidied up, get the everything cleaned, and it'll be nice. You can't really see at the moment because the light doesn't work, but the shower room has been done. Floor, that is, sorry. So that looks good. Tomorrow I might better start putting the shower screens in. The bifolds all need a bloody good clean. It's like a shame, beautiful doors, all completely wrecked at the moment. So they need a damn good clean, that's for sure. That will need to be locked. We've got 3-phase lights in here, so they've got to be connected up socket-wise and they'll all come on. But the pocket is now in, boarded up, skimmed, and then tomorrow hopefully that'll be sanded down and that'll be painted as well. We're also getting this boarded up as well, the middle supporting column. Just trying to get that boarded. So we've dabbed a bit behind and we're also screwing it on as well, but we've unfortunately hit a bit of a speed bump because we've got to try and get the electrician to get the cabling through the back and get that done. Countertop has actually been installed. Look how stunning that looks. So don't worry, the blocks won't stay. That's just obviously keep it weighed down whilst the glue's going off. And the worktops and doors are going on. Pretty sure we've got the dishwasher going here. Sink, nice big sink. The doubles in the middle. 2 singles, and then the oven will go in here. But yeah, quite a nice size, I think you'll agree. We ordered 6 chairs. I think we might need a few more. But anyway, it's all coming together, as you can see. We've still got lots of sanding, lots of painting. Some of the bedrooms, this floor was done today as well, so it's so much nicer. So we just need to get everything installed. Ceiling fans are obviously going in as well as we speak. So we've got the titanium remote ones going in. All the nice appliances that will go in tomorrow as well. Integrated fridge and freezers. Can't really see in here obviously because we've got the tape on the lights, but that's been tiled as well today, which I showed you earlier on. Towel rail will go in there later. Floor in here was done as well. As you can see, still plenty of work to be done on it. You know, it's not perfect, but I think, you know, another couple of cleans on it, it will come up a little bit better and it might look okay. I don't know. But, you know, in worst case scenario, we can epoxy them. But at the moment, it's just about trying to get us in here and start living again. Ceiling fans in. Still quite a few walls need to be sanded down. This one's boarded up at the moment, but same sort of thing. So, yeah, the hallway's actually been done as well. Can't really see the hallway because I'm not too sure if the actual power is on down here, even though lights are in. Yeah, there's no socket. So I don't think you can actually see down here. It feels like the light socket's actually been painted. Surely not. Anyway, this has been sanded down and painted today, but obviously it needs a few more coats. And again, things like the arches have not even been plastered. So again, that's going to have to be done tomorrow, and that's another delay. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. It'd just be nice to have everything sanded and painted so we just don't have to keep making a mess. But anyway, we've got tomorrow is a day we need to take advantage of obviously getting everything done so that we can actually get in here and get stuff moving in as of Monday. So anyway, that's it for today. Check you in tomorrow.